Hey everybody, Charles here, and welcome back to another episode of the Mega Park. A very special episode in this one because we are doing a 1 hour special time lapse in this episode. So I will be talking for about 2 minutes here, and then I'll be diving into the time lapse, and I'll continue talking. But before the time lapse, I kind of want to recap on a couple things because it's been a while. I haven't uploaded in forever. So as you guys may know, about 6 months ago or so, I did an announcement video where I passed along my park file to 5 individuals. And this kind of happened all over the summer. A few of them I have gone over, a few of them I have not. So there's a couple coasters in here that are brand new that there's no time lapse or anything for it, and they were built by you guys out there. So I'll just quickly recap the coasters that I've already went through. This coaster's Rush. This was built by Coaster Rider 120 or Coaster Rider 120. Very, very nice coaster. I really like it. It fits very well with my park. This is 2 water slides and a little lazy river, as I like to call it. These were built by Nap Night earlier in the summer. So I kind of went through this one as well. And then lastly, over here, well, not lastly that I've showcased already. This was what I showcased in the last episode. Plain White Tees and Blink 182. I kind of fudged up that name. Alright, I'll have to fix that a little bit later. I don't know why, but Blink 182 just kind of fit well for me. I don't know. It felt like something that would fit well for like a futuristic coaster name. But now onto the coasters that I have not showcased yet. This is Prince and Queen, or you could also say Prince versus Queen. It's sort of a dueling coaster. They are synchronized, but they kind of go in their opposite directions, which those are kind of nice coasters every once in a while to not have them side by side the whole time. So the coasters only share one square here, or like they line up only on one square, so they're able to synchronize up that way. But then they kind of take off in their own separate ways, and then they kind of meet up at certain spots. So this was built by Coaster Crazy. I'll link his channel in the link his channel in the description as well. He has a few videos out there. Hasn't uploaded in a while, but he's known for building crazy coasters, so it's a little different style than what I'm used to, but I think it works well, and I'll be theming this eventually. I did alter these coasters just a little bit, and I might have to alter it along the way as I add scenery, because it is very crazy uncompact. I hope I am able to squeeze scenery in there, but he gave me the A-OK to alter it a little bit if need be. And then lastly over here we have this steeplechase, I believe this is the coaster type, called Motörhead. And this was built by Broxier. I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly, but I've known him for a long time. He's one of the admins alongside me in Roller Coaster Tycoon and Friends, Roller Coaster and Friends Discord server. He's also one of the devs in this game, so he does a lot of stuff. He's very knowledgeable in this game. So I had him build a little coaster, and this is a nice, cute little coaster. I love it. I wouldn't ever think to use the roads like this, and I think that works very well. Pretty simple, and it's a little scary. I like that he used a little bit of the fire and bones themes selection there. I have not dove into any of that yet, so maybe I'll kind of expand on this area eventually into a spooky section, I guess, because I don't really have a spooky section in this park. The only thing that is kind of spooky is this haunted house that I kind of shoved over here, but it's just kind of semi-random placement over there. But I think this is a good opportunity for me to expand on this, maybe have like a water park expansion in this corner, and then kind of expand into a spooky section where I get some dark rides and ghost trains and what have yous. Maybe I can do another haunted house because it's this park is so dang big. But yeah, I just wanted to cover those. So those are the 5 things that the 5 individuals have built. So I appreciate you guys for taking my park over and just adding some stuff. That was awesome. So now we're going to dive into the time lapse here, and I'll continue talking, and I have no idea what I'm going to do, but we're just going to, we're going to do a little bit of everything. We got an hour, so, yeah. Alright, so now we're into time lapse mode finally here. So again, I do have like 55 minutes of time-lapse footage here. Am I going to be talking through that whole thing? Probably not, but I'll ramble as much as I can. But before I kind of talk about what I'm actually doing, I might ramble about like what I've been doing this summer and stuff, and talk about other stuff. So as you guys know, I'm naming all of my rides after band names and artists, and everything is currently up to date with names and such. So like this coaster here, for instance, was America, after the band America. I built that quite a bit ago, and I'm finally expanding on it now. But I do have a love for music, especially 70s and 80s rock. Just a lot of classics that most people have probably heard of, maybe don't listen to, but it's just something that I love, and it's rare for me to listen to music that was made after the 2000s, really. And it's kind of funny. I kind of consider like today's hits, to this day, I consider today's hits to be like 2000s or to current. But today's music should really be like 2020s music. You know what I mean? Like music that came out like in 2010 is not current today's hits. But to my mind, I'm like, 2010 was last year, right? That's how my mind works. But when I listen to old stuff, I mean that I listen to 70s and 80s primarily. But I did do an episode a while ago where I listed my top 10 bands. I don't even remember what I said for those, but I'm guessing my current top 10 are probably the same for the most part, but the order might be moved around. I do remember stating back in that episode that Toto was like my 4th or 5th favorite band, but right now, Toto is my most listened to band, and it has been for a while, for at least the last 6 months, because, and for those of you that don't know that band, they did the song Africa, I Bless the Rains down in Africa. They also did Hold the Line. Those are their 2 most common songs, or their most popular songs. However, those 2 are not even my 2 favorites. They used to be, because those are the only 2 songs that I used to only know by them, but now I really got to listen to their other stuff. And the reason that I kind of started listening to them more is because I went to one of their concerts back in April, I think it was, April or May. So right before that, I'm like, oh, maybe I should brush up on some of their music, and so I can sing along at their concerts. And man, my favorite song right now out of anybody is Could This Be Love by Toto. It's so good. I experienced that song for the first time this year. I'm surprised I never heard of it. It's just very underrated. It didn't really play on the radio, I guess, that much back in the day, but I love it, and I listen to it almost every day at some point, either on my ride to work, or just at home if I'm doing chores or whatever. But yeah, there's this cool app that, so if you guys are familiar with, or if you guys have Spotify, everybody's familiar with Spotify, but not everybody has it. But for those of you that have Spotify, you know how there's that Spotify Wrapped thing that's at every November or December where it gives you your top 100 listened to playlist, and it gives you your top 5 most listened to bands and all that. I love that. I love that they throw that out there at the end of the year. I think that's a really cool feature. But there is this website called Receiptify, that is linked to your Spotify, and it basically gives you your Spotify Wrapped as of today. And you can look at it over the last month, the last 6 months, or the last year. And I'm actually probably going to post on the screen right now I'm recording this right now on September 25th. Who knows when I'm going to upload this? Probably end of September, early October, if I can. Wow, we're almost in October. But yeah, I'll post my Receiptify. I want to say receipt, but it's Receiptify. As of now, September 25th. Over the last 6 months, my top 10 most listened to bands. So I'll put it on the screen here. So number 10 is Foreigner, still a top 10 band of mine. They got some good songs. Jukebox Hero is my favorite song by them. I really started listening to the Doobie Brothers more. I didn't really know, if 6 months ago, if you were to ask me a song by them, I wouldn't have been able to name you a song, but I do know them. now that I listen to their songs, I'm like, oh, that's the Doobie Brothers. I had no idea. But yeah, they got some good songs. I did have a chance to see them in live if I wanted to, but I just decided against it. But I probably should have seen them. My parents got to see them live in August, I believe it was. But yeah, as long as these people from the 70s and 80s are still alive, maybe I should really get a chance to see them in live if I can. Number 8 is Kansas. I really haven't listened to them much recently, so they're probably going to move down. They have been my favorite band for the longest time. I've seen them live twice. I mean, last year was their 50th anniversary tour, which is just insane if you think about, like, if they all started when they were 20 years old. Now they're 70, and they're touring still. And both of the concerts that I've been to were phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but most of the band members are not even original anymore. I think only 1 or 2 are really, have been there since the beginning, so it's like, you know, kind of more of a glorified cover band now, really, but it's still, like, very good, you know. It's still fun to listen to and appreciate people that like that band. But yeah, my dad played a lot of their music when I was like 8, so I'm just like, it just really stuck with me. I don't know if I would even like them that much if I just randomly started listening to them without, you know, nostalgia plays a factor here, you know. They got some good songs. Everybody knows Carry On My Wayward Son, but I'm guessing nobody knows the rest of their music. So they do a lot of instrumentals, and they're kind of experimental with their music. It's just kind of crazy and wild. But I dig it. I dig it a lot. I listen to their music every once in a while, but it's been a while since I've actually played one of their albums. Number 7 is The Cars. I didn't start listening to them until this year either. You know, I knew some of their music, but I just never really got to, you know, I never really had them, any of their songs in my playlist, but now I do. They got some fun stuff. I feel they really have some good music that I like to blast in the car. They got some happy, good music. It's a lot of fun. Number 6 is Boston. I've been a fan of Boston for years. They got some good stuff. Number 5 is Earth, Wind & Fire. I actually got to see them live in July or August. Was it June? I don't know how long ago this was. It was over the summer. Earth, Wind & Fire. I haven't listened to them a whole lot either, but I know a lot of their songs, and I have known a lot of their songs. But yeah, they got some good stuff, and they put on a good show. And they have 3 original members still. I mean, they had like a dozen people total on the stage, but 3 of them were still original. Yeah, they put on a good show. You know, lots of cool visuals, and they played very well. Number 4 is Chicago, who played alongside Earth, Wind & Fire in the same concert. They kind of played back-to-back, and then they got together at the end and played. There's like 24 of them on the stage. It was insane. But yeah, Chicago, I really started listening to more. You know, I kind of listened to them on and off over the last few years, but I really started listening to them a lot when I saw them in concert. So they got some really good stuff too. I really like the brass that they do. Not a lot of bands back in the day have incorporated brass instruments like trumpet and trombone and saxophone. But yeah, I love their music. I really started to listen to them more. Number 3 is Rush. This one has been it's a band that I've been listening to for a long time. Like, I remember my brother and my dad, my older brother and my dad, my older brother's favorite band is Rush as well, or at least it's a top 3 band of his. It's definitely up there for me. It's just like when I was like, again, a young kid, they would play a lot of their music, and I just thought it was really cool. But yeah, they're not so much around anymore. The drummer has passed away a few years back. But I don't know. Who knows? I've heard rumors that they might start doing some touring stuff, but I'm not sure who would they have for the drummer these days. Number 2 is Electric Light Orchestra, which, hey, I don't know when I'm going to post this episode, but I will be seeing them on this Monday, September 30th. So depending on if I post this video before or after that, September 30th is the day that I get to see them live. When I say they, I mean Jeff Lynne, who is the singer for Electric Light Orchestra, or ELO. But yeah, they have a lot of recognizable songs. So you might not recognize the band name, but if you like go to their Spotify and listen to a few of their songs, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know them. Just their harmonies are crazy, and I feel like their music style, and I don't know if this will make sense, is kind of messy, but messy in a good way. Like it's not like super clean. I don't know if this is a good way of explaining it, but you know how like music today, a lot of it is like the drums is not real drums, it's like electronic drums made in a program, and those drums sound super clean because it's not real drums, it's like electronic. But I feel like a lot of bands from the 70s and 80s, like when they have to actually use real drums because they didn't have computers to make these electronic drum noises, it just sounds a little bit more imperfect and messy, and I like that a lot more. Just when those imperfections is needed in music, I think. But yeah, they just got some good sound effects and violin. Not a lot of bands do violin. But yes, and now number one is Toto, who again I got to see live early this summer, late spring. Man, I really got to listen to them more. They got a lot of good songs. I really got to like actually. I'm always afraid. It's kind of funny. I'm always afraid to like look into other band songs. Like there's a lot of bands that I'm like, oh, I know those 2 songs by them, and I only listen to those 2 songs. But like Toto, I really got to like dive into their other albums, and I'm like, wow, these are so much better than the songs that I actually know by them. They got some underrated stuff. But yeah, those are my top 10 most listened to bands of the last 6 months. Who knows? In 3 months from now, that list might completely change. But yeah, that seems very accurate on what I have been listening to lately. But yeah, and also I kind of want to ramble a little bit about what I have been up to this summer, because I haven't been posting a whole lot. Because I know when I started this series, I started this in December. Sorry, I'm kind of getting a runny nose a little bit. I started this in December, and over the winter months, I don't want to be outside. I live in Wisconsin. It is very snowy and disgusting in the winter months, so I don't want to spend any of my time outdoors. So I'm like, what else do I do but play Roller Coaster Tycoon inside? So I started in December, and then up until like April, I was posting a heck ton of videos, and then I just kind of stopped. And that's because I was a little burnt out, and B, I wanted to spend a little bit more time outside doing some fun activities. So I've been doing a lot of concerts this summer. Like I said, I saw Toto, and then I saw Chicago and Earth, Wind & Fire, and then I will be getting to see Electric Light Orchestra in a few days, depending on when this video is posted. So I got to 3 concerts there. I had a family vacation where we went to a cabin, did some kayaking on the lake, kind of relax and stuff like that. Didn't bring my computer, so I couldn't play this game. Man, what else did I do? I got to skydive by myself for the first time. I've done a bunch of skydiving tandems over the last few years. But this year I really wanted to try it out by myself, so I kind of was like, I put everything on hold. I'm like, I really want to skydive by myself, so I did that. I took like a 4-hour training course, ground course, just learning how to do it and learning how to land, making sure my parachute looks proper, looks good. Got to do that. Yeah, I did that like in July, I think. Yeah, I think it was July. That was a lot of fun. I just did 1 jump, and I think I want to do more next year when the season comes back, because right now we're not really in skydiving season anymore. But yeah, that's just something that I love doing, is doing some crazy stuff. And I know I mentioned this in an episode of the past, but I did I climbed the wing of a plane last year. So I did that. So now I've skydived, and I kind of want to bungee jump now, maybe zip line. I haven't really zip lined before, at least like over a mountain or something like that. I've only skydived. I've only zip lined over a parking lot. It was kind of like a little amusement park kind of thing. So, but yeah, I want to do some crazy stuff. So yeah, that was my summer stuff. So I kind of handed my park off to people. That was kind of my plan, was to like, you know, give other people a chance and free up my time to do stuff I want to do while other people have fun with my park. So yeah, again, I did pass off my park to 5 people this summer. So those are pretty much my episodes this summer, was those episodes. But now we're back in time-lapse mode. Hopefully I can get a nice rhythm getting back into this. So let's actually talk about what I'm building now, because I rambled on for a little bit there. So the first thing I did was, and I'm kind of backtracking, I kind of built near the entrance of the park. I do have 2 entrances in the park so far. I plan to have 4. My original intent when I built this park was to only have the 1 entrance that I built in episode 1, but I decided, hey, this park is gigantic. Maybe I should add some more entrances in the park so the guests can spread out a little bit better. That way, when the park is like, you know, not a bunch of guests piled up at the front of the park and then like nothing packed in the, or nothing, no guests at the end of the park. So I'm gonna have like four entrances eventually. I have 2 so far. And once I kind of expand further and further, I'll get those other 2 entrances up in there. But yeah, I kind of expanded near my America coaster. You know, built a dense little garden area, a little bright and colorful area. And then I finally got to expand on the monorail station that you saw about 10 minutes ago as well. So Coaster Rider 120 built that white Rush coaster, and he kind of left me a little bit of room to expand on the monorail, so I finally got to do that. And I kind of followed in his footsteps a little bit with the scenery choices. I really loved the scenery theme that he did. It was very clean looking. Nothing can go wrong with using like the regular walls and roofs. If you just kind of do like that bright white look with the abstract, it looks really nice. It looks really clean. It looks really modern. I really like that building style. So I kind of followed in his footsteps and kind of blended in another building right next door. I didn't want to do something different, so then it would clash. So yeah, that was fun. I got 3 monorail stations now. I plan to have 4, just to do kind of like a square shape. Just so, I mean, I know guests don't treat monorails like a transport ride, but I think 4 works well. Just to kind of, it just ties in the whole park together. It looks really nice. But now I'm finally talking about what I'm working on now is this these 2 coasters, and I think actually looking at my editing program, I'm about to dive into a different part of the park, if my commentary lines up well. But these purple and green coasters were built by Coaster Crazy. The purple coaster is Prince, and then if you guys know the reference, Prince had a song called Purple Rain, very iconic, probably his most iconic song. And then the green coaster is Queen. And I did a very, and I'm trying to remember what the username, his YouTube username was, but I think it's Matsku84. I'll put a visual on the screen, honestly, to kind of further explain what my inspiration was. His building style is very wild and random, and I love it so much. It's like one of my favorite building styles in this game. It's just random, and it's not realistic whatsoever, and I dig it. But again, I'll put some visuals on the screen from his YouTube channel on like what vibe I was looking for. Because with Coaster Crazy's, oops, sorry, my chair is squeaking. Coaster Crazy, when he built those coasters for me, you know, obviously it was a very compact, wild coaster. So I'm like, I gotta build some crazy scenery to go along with this. And Coaster Crazy is a big fan of Matsku84 as well, and that's kind of the vibe he was looking for. So he kind of left me the opportunity to kind of do whatever I want with those coasters. And I obviously went with a castle theme because I think Prince and Queen makes sense to go with the castle theme. I had a lot of fun with that. I just built very wild with it. But now on this side of the park, I got to expand on these 2 white coasters that Cookie Crisp Wizard built previously. Man, I had trouble getting started with this area. I did a lot of like brainstorming off camera, just kind of like building a little things here and there. I'm like, will this work? Will that work? And just like everything wasn't what I wanted it to be. It didn't look quite right. So then I had this idea just to get the white base block and just start stacking it and just doing like just a blocky tower kind of thing. And Cookie Crisp Wizard did say like his vibe he was looking for was like Tomorrowland, where it's a very big, stark white tower, spire-looking building. And actually, I might put another visual on the screen here of an inspiration that I found on New Element Designs. I'll kind of put the username there as well. This was just a park that I found because I was like, Tomorrowland, I don't know much about Tomorrowland. I've never, you know, I never did know what that was until I started doing research on it. Like, I didn't really know what it looked like or anything like that, but I'm guessing someone out there posted a Tomorrowland park, so I'm like, wow, this is incredible. But I'm just kind of posting on the screen here just for the sake of what colors I was looking for. What I built does not look anything like this, but it kind of did give me the idea with the color scheme and what kind of tower looking things to do. Obviously with my no custom scenery challenge thing here, I don't have access to those white slanted roofs. I easily could if I wanted to, but I just don't want to. So I decided to do the white base blocks and just stack it up like that. And I think it works really well. It's very simple, and I don't know, I just kind of started stacking it and just very random. It looks like an optical illusion. I just dig it. And when I eventually blend in the trees later, it looks really nice. It looks very futuristic. It looks very modern. I added a little bit of water, and as you can see, I also added a suspended monorail just for a little bit of fun. This suspended monorail, I did not make it like a transport ride. It only has one station, so, you know, who cares? Whatever. But I just wanted to incorporate... I do want to incorporate one of every ride, at least in this park, so I'm like, where can I put a suspended monorail? I'm like, let's just do it right here. You know, I already got a monorail in this park that is a transport ride, so maybe I'll do the suspended monorail as just like a fun ride to tour through these 2 coasters. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one, and this total area, I would say, is also about 80-85% done. I left a little bit of room because I think I want to expand on it. I don't know how I'm going to expand on it, so I left some room. I left some parts blank. One of the stations I didn't cover up yet because I think I might want to do something with it. Like add another coaster around it somehow, or I know I gotta put in a car ride in this area too as well, because I know Cookie Crisp Blizzard suggested putting a car ride in there. So I might kind of do that near one of the entrances of the coaster, and then I'll kind of blend that in later, probably in the next episode, hopefully. But yeah, my main color scheme here was white, and that dark purple. I think that's just a good accent with that white. I think it works really well. And then I added in a little bit of blue to match the blue supports as well. Oh man, I love this area so much. It's just the choices that I did with the scenery is something that I've never done before. And it's honestly very simple what I did with the building. And I'm sure this style has been done before. I just haven't really seen any coasters out there that have like these random white base block towers, but I dig it. And then I was very excited to add the trees in later, because I was like, the trees is just gonna really, the foliage is just gonna really tie this whole thing in together. But yeah, I kind of started this episode with again, I was a little bit of everywhere. I kind of went in the entrance, worked on the monorail station, then I worked on the Prince and Queen castle coasters, and then I dove over here, and then I actually end this episode going back to the Prince and Queen castle coasters. I just needed a break from castle theming and just worked on these coasters over here. Because finally, yes, I got an idea to work on over here. So I was like, yeah, let's just do it. But yeah, this coaster was a lot of fun to work with. Once I like got started, and I'm like, wow, that could work well, and then it did. So yeah, I don't know how much more I can ramble on here, other than that I had a lot of fun getting back into this game a little bit. Again, I'm probably only gonna post about once a month here. You know, again, hopefully with these winter months coming up, these cold months, I don't want to be outside, so I'm gonna hopefully. If I'm not burnt out and if I'm well motivated, I'll keep on building in these parks. But I'll probably be getting back into the time-lapse rhythm too. I know a lot of my episodes this summer were not time-lapses, but I really dig the time-lapses, so I'm gonna continue on doing that. Maybe I'll throw in a live stream in there later this year. I'm not sure. I was bouncing back the idea about doing that, a live stream where I just kind of mess around for 2 hours, and maybe it can be like an unofficial live stream where I don't know, maybe that I just have some fun or something. Maybe it won't even be for this park. I'm not sure. Who knows? But yeah, I think that'll be it for my commentary. I don't really have much else to talk about other than that. Let me know what y'all think. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Just feel free to skip around. Maybe I'll put some time stamps on there so you can kind of move around a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.